Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I made this opalite Tree of Life pendant in copper wire. I'm going to be using a 25mm flat back cabochon today for the Tree of Life pendant. You can use any stone shape or size that you wish. For this design, you just have to tweak the base a bit and make your tree a little bit longer or shorter and add more branches or less branches. So let me show you how I went ahead and made this into a Tree of Life pendant. First, we're going to start off with our dead soft square copper wire. This is, I believe, 6 inches. Yep, 6 inches. For the size of my cabochon, this is going to be the perfect size. You're not going to have very much excess, so if you want more excess wire, you can definitely cut yourself a little bit more just to be safe. To go ahead and make the bail, we are going to be using 9 inches of this half round copper wire. So one of the sides is rounded and one of the sides is flat. That's why it's called half round. And again, this one is in 21 gauge. So I'm going to take my copper wire, the 26 gauge, and one of them is about 4 inches long. So let's just make sure here. Yep, 4 inches. So I'm going to cut myself, which I already pre-cut these, and I went ahead and cut 14 of them. You want to make sure that they're about 3 times your stone size, and then plus a little extra. So let's see here, 1, 2, 3. You know what? That might even be about four lengths of your stone. This is just how I do my Tree of Lives. There are many different tutorials out there, but I find this works best for the kind of tree that I like to do. And so once I go ahead and cut these, then I'm going to make them into a tree. So what I do is I hold them all together once I make sure that they are all the same length in the same spot, and I'm going to twist this as tight as I can. And you'll have something that looks like this. I can start on my tree branches, and so you can really make your trees any shape or form that you want to. Right here I'm going to grab 3 of the wires and just start twisting them a little bit. So this is what you get. And then I'm going to unravel it just a little bit, and there's 2 on this side. So then I'm just going to use my fingers and twist that. And then I'm going to twist the center a little bit more. That way it doesn't come undone. So this is what I have so far. And I have 5 left. So it depends if you want your sides to have equal branches or if you want more on one side. Depends on what organic look you're wanting for your tree. So I'm going to have 3 on this side and 2 on this side because I want them to be equal at the end. So then I'm going to twist these 2 together, and I have 3 over here. So I'm going to twist these 3 together. So you can either twist your branches a little bit more, untwist them, things like that. I'm going to go ahead and untwist my branches a little bit. So this is my cute little tree so far. We can go ahead and measure that against our stone. So that's what it's looking like on the stone. So we want about, I'll probably start my roots about right here. But again, depending on your stone, depending on if you want your roots to show very much, you don't want your roots to show very much, you can make it any way you like. So I'm just going to hold this and start unraveling my tree. This is what my tree looks like. See how hard I was pressing it? My finger is all indented. Okay, so this is what it looks like. That's what it's gonna look like on my stone. So now we're gonna set this aside and we're gonna move on to the base. So we're gonna go ahead and take that 6-inch piece of 20 gauge square dead soft copper wire, which I have right here. And we're gonna find the center of it, and we're gonna make sure that it's on one of the flat sides. So you come up with this. Once you're done doing that, we wanna measure it to the back of our stone and try to find the center. So now that we have this piece, we're going to measure it against our stone again, and that's perfect. Since this is dead soft copper wire, it makes it super easy to form and shape the way we want it to be shaped. And now we got to harden it. So you want to take your steel bench block for this part, and we're going to harden this base here. So we're ready to go ahead and use the half round copper wire. So again, this is going to be 9 inches. It depends on how long you want your bell to be, and you want a little bit of a tail left over at the end. So we're probably gonna have a tail about that long left at the end. That way we can secure the bale to itself. And we want the flat side down, the round side up. And I am just going to start wrapping this around. So this is perfect. We have that little bit of tail left over, and we can make sure that the bottom, everything is even. So now that we have this, our base, I can go ahead and squish all of this down, secure it, make it nice and flat. We're gonna get our bale making pliers here, and I usually go for the smallest one. So we're gonna take this, find the center. I don't know if you can see it. So now I'll take that tail, and I'm gonna wrap that around. I'm going to snip it, and I'm going to take my tweezer nose pliers, and I'm going to secure that down. And from this point, you can either make a design with these if you want it to show through the front. So I'm going to use some electrical tape to hold my tree down while I'm securing it. This is what we have so far. We're going to center it. And I'm going to center my tape. So here's our tree, and I'm going to bring these branches up. Let me get my piece of tape, the other half. I'm going to center it again. Make sure that it's nice and centered. And I'm going to take my tweezer nose pliers, stick it under the base, Very hard to do this on camera. All right. So now that I have it under the base, I'm going to bring the other one, put it under the base as well. So this is what it looks like so far. This is what it looks like from the front so far. Snip it pretty close, just a little tiny bit. That way we can tuck that under. So if you want to go ahead and wrap all of these just like I did this, and I'll be right back. So this is what my tree looks like so far. And I went ahead and secured all of these wires in the back. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this first piece of tape off. We don't need that anymore. And then time to take this second piece of tape off. And you're left with this, and you can just pull and I'll take it out. And you can put this back in your base. So this is what you're left with, and you can start shaping your tree branches again. After going ahead and straightening out all of my tree branches, this is what my tree looks like so far. And I'm going to start attaching the top ones. And I'm going to take my tweezer nose pliers again. Make sure these are kind of out of the way. And the amount of times you wrap it back here on each of these tree branches, it's gonna be up to you. How far apart you want your tree branches to be from each other, things like that. So I just play it by ear. I don't have an exact amount that I twist each of these wires. So this is what I'm left with. Like I said, the number of wraps you do per branch is going to depend on how far you want them apart. So I'm going to snip these. Can't fill it. So you want to do that for all of these wires. So I will be right back after going ahead and securing all these wires to the base. So this is what the front looks like so far. This is what the back looks like after I went ahead and secured all of these. It's going to be in the back. We're not going to do anything else back here. The front, you can leave it like this if you like the look of the straight branches, but I like to go ahead and give everything a little twist and turn. So this is the final result, and this is how my trees turn out for all of my Tree of Life pendants that I make with this 25mm round stone. This is how I like to do them.